Hey, this is Marcus. I listen to the Bully podcast.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Booty League podcast. We have James and Chris this week. What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up?
James is joining us from the Shadow Realm? Is that what we're calling that?
That's why the picture's all blurry.
In
Oh,
the
man.
toilet realm.
The
I
toilet
think.
realm, dude.
Yeah.
The unfortunate, dude.
Yeah.
David's camera's gonna start looking like that next week.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've got this dub we'll get into that, but I think this is in the pocket, in the back
Alright.
pocket this week. But you guys got any quick questions this week? How do you like how do you guys like the Thursday podcast format? I kind of like it. You got like a little sneak peek of it makes predictions so much more spicy.
I hate it because of the predictions. James and I used to record on Thursday and be like, "Well, all our predictions went out the window." Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it
It's
is
a
what it is, though.
revisionist podcast.
I don't think I don't think anybody would have imagined like Ty Johnson and Elijah Moore. What's his name? I forgot what his name was.
Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore going off on Royce's team. It's because Nick said. It's because Nick said, "How down bad are you, Royce? Starting 2 Jets, and
Dude.
then like right away,
There it is.
there it is." But
Alright, let's jump into the transactions this week, the waiver wire talks. We got 19 transactions for Tuesday, 11 more. Big news, right? Not AP. AP getting signed, but as a result of Derrick Henry getting hurt. So Jerry McNichols goes to Nick for 71 fab. 10 bids. The next closest ones are 52, 48, 39, 33. Derek Gore to Michael for 10. No one else bidded for him. Or the next closest one was 0. New Orleans David from Wednesday out of 4 bids. 5, 3, 1 are the following subsequent bids. You got Brian Edwards to Timmy for 6. 4 bids of 5, 3, and 2. Carlos Hyde to Royce for 5. Other bids were 3 and 2. New England D for 5. Waiver priority over David.
damn,
Van Jefferson to Marcus for 0. Waiver priority over 4 other bids. And then Arizona D took for 0. Waiver priority over Ty. So a couple waiver priority wins, which was pretty close. What are your thoughts, James, of the waivers this week?
So the big one is the Jerry McNichols acquisition by Nick for 71. I was the next highest bid with 52, and I felt personally 52 was the most that I was okay with putting out there. But I think for 71, McNichols has been must start territory for Nick. But I think with how his team's performing, I think McNichols probably is a flex decision. But I know he's kind of struggling at running back, but I think McNichols is in must start territory for him.
True, I believe that too. What are your thoughts, David?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure what the film on McNichols is, if I'm being honest. So I don't know how good of a runner he is. But me not knowing how good he is based on like Reddit or like various other fantasy sources tells me that he's not like some otherworld talent, right? So
That's just because you're not doing your homework, dude. You're too busy studying, dude. You're
Yeah.
studying for your toilet, dude. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, but there's no like hype. I mean, there's no hype around it. And 71 for someone, and I think Derrick Henry was only doing well behind their line because Derrick Henry is like so
He's
good.
built.
But it's like an average line, right? So I mean, I don't think Jeremy McNichols is gonna like pick up right where Derrick Henry left off, and now we have AP in the mix. Which I don't know. Did he get promoted from the practice squad
Not
yet?
yet. I don't think anyone got promoted yet.
Okay, so yeah, so it's his backfield for now. But if you think he's gonna step into that Derrick Henry role, I think you're gonna be in for a surprise.
I mean, he gets access to what, probably 10 to 15 points a week now that he didn't have access to before. So I think in the grand scheme of things, if you get a win, as long as you're stacking up wins with Jerry McNichols in your lineup, that 71 starts to look pretty like a pretty good deal.
You think he's gonna get 10 points a week though? You don't think that he would go
It doesn't
towards?
for a pass catching running back. I don't think it takes very much.
Tell
to
that
get
to
10 points a
Naeem
week.
Hines, bro.
He's doing just
He'll-
fine tonight. I don't know about
He's
you.
doing just fine.
He just needed new management, dude.
You gotta
he
know
needed to play for a
these
better
pass
coach.
catching backs. I think you gotta pick your
You
spots.
needed to change the
with them.
scenery.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
all right.
Anyone you guys really wanted this week?
I think I wanted Van Jefferson, but
Me
I
too.
didn't. But we put in zeros. I think.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't want it that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted him because I'm a Rams boomer. I'm a
True.
Rams homer, so yeah.
Did you want anyone, Jim?
No, just McNichols. I think the way that I've built my team, it's underperforming, but it's not like anyone else on the waiver wire gives me much confidence that they'll do better than what I have to fucking shell out every week.
Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about your matchup and your underperformers next week. Before we do that, let's jump into our shot bets. We got game of the week between Timmy and Jonathan. Timmy's the only one taking shots. Highest scoring Green Bay receiver options. Losers were Mario Rogers and Tunyon. Timmy, Jonathan, Nick, Royce take shots. Does Kelsey drop an 18 bomb for the dirty win? Even David didn't vote for himself, so he deserves to lose. So Nick, Royce, and Chris
I was hedging my bets, man.
take those shots. And then we got the head-to-head. So we got David and Royce. Payouts this week is Michael with 7 because he was late, but he finally brought some film
did
for
it.
us. So
We
we're gonna
have
see that
it.
real soon.
Let's see it soon.
Royce is gonna owe us 3. Timmy's gonna owe us 2. Nick's gonna owe us Nick took his 2. We saw that on Snapchat. And we'll cross it out. And then Jonathan, Chris, and David all owe 1. So let's take our shots.
Chris, have you been drinking out of the same bottle the entire podcast season?
I was drinking the tequila for my multiple shots, but since it's only one shot, I'm gonna drink some whiskey.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Not
Because
joining
I
you
wanted
guys,
to see
Chris.
watch the first podcast, and then watch the
see
last
how far
podcast and
below
see
it
how
is?
far we've gone. Because I'm almost done. So I'm almost done with this. I'd say like 3 or 4 more episodes, and I'm
And you
done.
switched. You actually did white for one episode too.
I did the white for the 5 shots, I
Yeah.
think.
And then this is. I just wanted some whiskey tonight, so I'm gonna go with this.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, boys.
And we have Michael's video. I'll pull it up for us.
So this is a touchdown's worth? 7 shots?
7 shots.
Damn, this guy started off at 1, right? And he's just
Started
been
off at 1.
stacking the juice.
He could have been
Oh,
done
wait.
already.
Don't look at that, everybody. Good thing nobody watches the pod, or else they'll steal all my information. Jeez.
This guy probably rolled out of bed and walked to
Right
the
there.
7-Eleven.
Alright, do you guys see
God.
everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. What time did he send this to you, Chris?
See, like 9 o'clock, like really late. I think he had work the next day. He said he had to chug a liquid IV
Really?
to get into bed. He asked to make a trade right when he this, and then I was like, dude, they're all gonna claim rape, and then he was like, never mind. Like, I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night, guys.
What was he gonna make?
I don't know. All he said was let's talk trades, and then he's like, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Oh yeah, cause he's under the influence, dude.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. He
What
opens
is
up
that?
Jameson,
What
right?
is that?
It's all
It's
Jameson, I
Jameson.
think.
Oh, tiny Jamie.
He just said, yeah, he is the little.
Oh, he fucking lost count too.
I think that's 5.
He said 7.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Yeah, there it is.
that's so nasty.
Ugh, God.
Gmo. He loves his Gmo. Oh yeah, Mountain Dew, baby.
Oh, he's dilute. Oh, just a little bit.
Alright, baby.
I don't
Hell
know how
yeah,
people
let's
do that,
go.
dude. That is so
Let's
nasty.
go.
Oh,
Ron, do baby, do the do.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what the do is for.
Wow. He had to let it build up before he cashed out, I guess.
Dude, I appreciate Michael.
Yeah,
It's a lot more fun to watch 7 shots go down than one.
true. There is that.
Okay, we're back. So going into our next segment, we have great that trade a lot of small trades happening. I know at the beginning of the year we were complaining about how like everybody wants the blockbuster trades, but now I see
Yeah.
like we're doing like a little bit small maneuvers, like just
Mhm.
for fab or for like other small pieces. So I like to see that. We're getting like a trade like consistently every week now, whereas before we like the first 3 weeks we got like nothing.
Before we start, I'd like to apologize to David. I'm so sorry about
You're
Calvin Ridley deciding,
trolling.
deciding to
It's okay.
retire.
I hope
I hope he comes back better than ever, dude.
all I'm gonna
Oh
say is Ridley.
my
I hope
god.
everything if you're suffering from your mental suffering, take all the time you need, Ridley. All right, you can step away from football. You gotta look out for numero uno. All right, Ridley. What
Yeah, life's bigger than football, David.
with that out of the way, F Chris though. But
Oh,
the only justice is that McCaffrey I hope McCaffrey doesn't come back for another 2 weeks. That's what I'm hoping.
that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
Only fair, dude.
That's fair.
But he's probably gonna come back this week, and then you're
He's
gonna be
not
really done.
coming back this week, dude. You can barely ride a bicycle.
All right. So all I'm gonna say is that this trade happened earlier in the week. Nick sends 5-5, James sends 0. And, you know that this was Jeopardy, part of Jeopardy Gate 2021. Um, Nick, we always talk about trades and where like if you trade and you win, that's a dub. So Nick giving away 5-5 for a free dub, dude, easy money, dude. And
Yeah, give
James,
me
I
unfortunately,
take that.
$5.
James got 0 fab and lost. So I'm gonna give it A for Nick and C for James.
Okay.
David, what are your thoughts on this trade?
I think it's. I mean, I like kind of. I set this up. I'm kind of like the middleman, right? So I think it's a great trade for both parties.
Nick gets a win. James gets 5 fab.
Yeah.
James, what are your thoughts on this trade? I know you participated
Uh,
in this.
so this 5 fab weighed my team down a lot. So A for Nick and an F for me.
Mm.
All right, into the real nitty gritty. We got Michael gets David Johnson, and Royce gets J.D. McKissick. David, go ahead and go first. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, like hindsight is 2020, right? Because David Johnson, like he like really didn't do anything that game. Again, I don't know the game script. I didn't really watch it that much. But just looking at the snap count, we would have thought that David Johnson, like how they were hyping up that entire week leading up to the
Yeah.
game, we would have thought he gotten more than he actually got.
Mhm.
And Royce receives his handcuff, which it turns out they say Gibson did do that well last week, and I think they might rest him some more over the bye. So picking up JD is like has that pretty consistent receiving floor to fill in for
Mhm.
McKissick. So I give an A for Royce and an F for Michael. I think that might have been the first A I've ever given Royce.
Okay.
Well, you earned it, Royce.
James, thoughts?
Um, so going into last week, I I mean going into the season, I didn't really have much confidence in David Johnson. And yeah, the narrative was there. Like David Johnson, um, looks to be the most like seasoned player in that backfield. And so there might have been a chance for him to maybe reignite the flames and be that special running back that he was in Arizona. But I was not a fan of it. And I think that only gets validated by his usage last week. So I would give Michael a C. I don't like giving Fs or Ds. But for Royce, on the other hand, I think he gets an A. Um, even if Gibson is playing, like he can still start McKissick. More oftentimes than not, Washington's gonna be down, down in score during the games.
Mhm.
So McKissick's usage only goes up from there. So I think Royce gets an A on this one. Slam
Okay.
dunk for Royce.
Yeah,
I'm also very curious what convinced or how much convincing Royce had to do to give DJ to Michael.
I want to put my money that on that Michael won and David Johnson. He's like, dude, I don't feel comfortable starting JD. Like, I'm gonna take this high upset approach like on David Johnson because I wanted David Johnson too, and I couldn't work out anything. And then even he was telling me his offers was, yeah, I can't do that for you. Like all the offers you're getting are way better than like
Whatever
what I
were
can
the
give you.
offers he was getting.
I honestly I forgot. There's like a
All right,
receiver. It might have been Michael. Like it might have been Michael the whole time, but there was like a receiver that was a bigger name. So I was like, oh shoot, that's spicy. Um,
I see.
I
Okay.
That
don't
sounds
think
like a Michael conversation.
yeah, like I don't think it was like Higgins level, but there was a receiver that was like, oh yeah, like no, he was gonna do Emmanuel Sanders for David
Wow.
Johnson, and I was like, oh yeah, I was big on Emmanuel Sanders, so I was like, okay, you know what, you take that, like you go ahead and take that, and then the offer went for J.D. McKissick, so I was surprised about that. Um, I thought I wanted the David Johnson thing. I drank I was all about like I need a running back, all that stuff. So um, I agree with all your sentiments, but yeah, I'm gonna give a C for Michael and an A for Royce. I think Royce did a great job here. All right, and we're gonna jump to the next trade between
Oh wait, while we have um James on the pod, you traded away Gibson. Why? You can't get better. You don't think he can get better?
No, I actually really like Gibson. Um,
Mhm.
the obviously he's the narrative is that he is injured, and I don't doubt that he's injured. But like the one game I got to watch Gibson play, he didn't look injured at all, to be honest. He looks really good as a runner. Um, but I traded away Gibson because I liked what I was getting back.
Mm.
Um, so he is injured and his value did go down. And also like my sentiment, I remember making the initial trade with Michael. My sentiment was, between Najee and Antonio Gibson, I wanted Najee, but um, I was still pretty optimistic about Antonio Gibson and that his injury isn't as serious as it could have been. But I'm not a doctor, so maybe this injury is as bad as it
Mm.
can be.
Gotcha.
But Royce wanted him. He offered a decent deal for him, even for like an injured player. So I just took it.
For sure.
All
Yeah.
right.
We're gonna revisit the trades, during the trade deadline or after the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
So just a heads up. But then so jump to the next trade, and since it's between you guys, I will go first. James receives Tony Pollard. David receives Devontae Smith. For David, I know like he couldn't play Tony Pollard. So I don't blame him. Like I know a lot of people are saying like, how could you let go of Tony Pollard? Like unless Zeke got hurt, then he could make a move. But he really needed someone to play. So I thought maybe he could have gotten like a better deal or a more reliable receiver because Devontae Smith hasn't been performing well. Um, Jalen Hurts hasn't looked good as a passer. Like last week he did, but it was against the Lions. And then, but on the other hand, I think James did a great job because he relieves of himself of an option he couldn't play, and then he gets a high upside player in Tony Pollard in case something happens to Zeke. Let's go. And so with that I said, I gave B for David and an A for James. David, go ahead. What are your thoughts on your trade?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like that bad. As how Timmy likes overreacting. Like he caught I as soon as the trade went through, I knew that the rape police would jump out.
Of course.
Of course, it's funny because I think he has push notifications or something because he
Yeah.
sees it instantly.
Yeah.
Timmy is always the first one.
Dude, the RAPE letters on his keyboard just light up.
No, it's like the keyboard, and then like the the first three choices on top of your keyboard is already ripped. You just gotta press it.
he
But
is he is a macro for it at this point, dude.
yeah, I honestly don't think it's that bad because let's say like I were to trade Pollard for like you said like someone more consistent, like I know what I'm getting with like if I were to trade him for like I don't know, like a Cole Beasley. I'm just naming people. Like a Jacoby Myers. Maybe I can aim higher for like I don't know, like any of those like whatever, like 7 to 10 point a game wide receivers.
Hmm.
But Devonte Smith is like he's a rookie wide receiver, so like he does have that unknown factor part of him. He could also be growing into his role, although Jalen Hurts isn't a great passer.
Yeah.
They are both rookies technically, and in their first what is it like 7 or 8 games together. So I think there will be growing pains, and I think with Devonta, there's more upside, potential upside than if I were to trade for someone who's like maybe 3 4 years in the league that's like their team's wide receiver too. In my opinion. Go ahead, James. It looked like you disagree over there.
Um, I mean, honestly, this trade is just a lottery ticket swap. My Tony Pollard isn't usable until Zeke gets injured, or I'm not compelled to use Pollard until Zeke gets injured.
Hmm.
And then for David, I think in a vacuum, and especially and like even like today, I would agree with the sentiment that Devonta is a little more startable. I think there are more scenarios where Devonta is more flexible than Tony Pollard, just because like you don't need Devonta doesn't need someone to get injured for him to be relevant. Um, but and I was higher on Devonta than Jamar Chase going into this draft. I
Hmm.
think Devonta could be a better player, but the difference between the two has been the usage and their quarterbacks. I think Joe Burrow is a way better quarterback than like real life football quarterback than Jalen Hurts could be.
Absolutely.
But I think for David, like if it boils down to usage, like David needs someone who's more usable than Tony Pollard. Because if they're gonna get the same if they're gonna at the end of the day they're gonna get the same amount of points, you might as well go with Devonta, who has a little more home run upside than Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I mean this trade is like a big like nothing burger. Like
Yeah,
it's
this
not
honestly,
it doesn't
I
move
wouldn't
the
be
need.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if neither of us use Devonta or Pollard in the game.
Yeah, I mean I mean I don't know. I mean is it right when like you don't get past first base? Like but that's what I mean. All right, but this trade was like nothing. So
Yeah, I think this is a an A for both of us, but
yeah.
might as well could also be a C or a B. It's
Yeah,
just the same shit.
for both, yeah. All
We'll,
right.
we'll, we'll revisit this later. All right, I bring it to you guys. You guys come to my office today. Dr. Chris Wong for your
Oh,
therapy
Dr. D in the
session.
house?
Dr. D, for your therapy session. You guys both said your reasons were that you're 2-6 in this current fantasy landscape. So I just brought you in for. I thought you guys were both 2-6. Thought you guys would do great in this group therapy session. All right, so overall, how would you describe David? How would you describe your mood right now in for the
Um
fantasy league?
oh, in the fantasy like right now
Yeah,
currently
yeah.
or
How'd
within
you
the
just
with
right now? Just say how
you
you're
know,
feeling right
I
now.
take every week is a new week for me. You know, just take it one step at a time. You know, I'm trying to put my team in the best position to win week in, week out. And you know, every week's a different opponent, and I'm gonna need a different game plan every week. So I don't dwell too much on the past.
Okay. So
It's
you said would you say you're relatively in a good mood, okay mood, optimistic?
I think I'm more optimistic this week in getting a dub than
Okay.
I have been in the past, is what I'll
Okay.
say about that.
And James, what's your overall mood?
Uh, if I'd be lying to you if I said I was optimistic, but
This is we're recording we're recording this right after the games have ended and Jonathan
um,
Taylor dropped the 22
I mean,
30
to be
32 ball.
to be honest, like my philosophy on this game has always been I don't need to be the highest scorer in the league, and I don't want to be the highest scorer in the league. I just want to put myself in a position where it could boil down to 6 points between a win and a loss, basically a touchdown, right? That's given me the most success throughout the years and has given me the most long-term success. And a couple of my matches have come down pretty close to within that 6 point range. I've just been on the losing end of the coin flip, and so I think my process. I still have confidence in my process. I just gotta live with the shit end of the results sometimes, and I am very deep in this shit.
All right,
It's
so
only brown from here.
going through 6 losses, that's a 75% loss rate at this point. You're not always in a great mood. How do you get yourself out of a bad mood, David? What are your coping mechanisms? How do you cope?
Um, let's see. My coping mechanisms. Oh, really on Sunday there's no coping. The only coping mechanism on Sunday is like even if you're down by a lot, a couple touchdowns here and there, even though it doesn't move the needle, right? It'll improve your cuz you're down by like 30, right? You're not going to win the week. Just give me a couple touchdowns. So it's that's how my mood improves. Like I like to see like touchdowns for my players, even if I will lose the week, and that will definitely improve my mood. But I can't control that, so if it's an all-time beatdown, then I'll just turn on the Rams game, and that'll be like one of the only games I watch for the day.
Okay, so you would say you're quite the bargainer.
The bargainer.
You go in your 5 stages of grief. You go straight to bargaining.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me.
Give me the touchdowns.
Just
How,
give
how do
me
you,
just give me like a bone, dude. Don't like Royce was like in week 1 or week 2 or both. He didn't even have a touchdown.
yeah.
I can't imagine.
All right. How do you get yourself out of a bad mood, James?
I go on Reddit, I go on R iBleach and R Corgis, and I just
Mm,
watch puppy
Corgi.
videos.
mm,
And
very
that
nice.
puts me in a good mood.
That puts
The
you in a
bad
good
the bad football fantasy football man can't hurt me in those subreddits.
mood.
I'm gonna start putting.
Bad 2 and 6
you
man
know,
can't hurt
you
me
know,
there.
you know my girlfriend like ever since so usually every Sunday she'll ask me like how's my football team doing,
Mm.
right? But after like CMC went down, she kept asking me and I couldn't explain to her the magnitude of CMC going down to my team, right? And so I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago I told her, she's like, "Oh, how's your team doing this week?" And then I said, don't ask me about my team anymore. If I want to tell you about the team, I'll tell you about the team.
Nah, Barry said the same thing. Barry's like, oh yeah, when football season's around, I don't have a boyfriend for like 16 weeks, yada
Yeah.
yada yada. But
Uh,
now I've been spending more time with her on Sundays. Like I have all this free time.
Yeah, it's spending
He's like,
time.
wow, yeah, you've been pretty quiet on Sundays. Is something all right? I just tell
uh,
her everything's good.
Yeah, if I wanted you to know about the team, I'll tell you. But
oh man, dude, I'm glad you guys
I'm
get this off your chest. So, you know, everything's not always your fault. What does your team keep doing that you dislike, and what do you wish they would change? What does your team keep doing that you dislike, and what do you wish they would change? David, go ahead.
yeah, I'm pretty strong at IR and I'm looking to upgrade at other positions. You see, what I don't like about my team is that no matter where I go or who I touch, nothing but death awaits for them. And I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I don't mean to. Like, who did I just pick up? Darnell Mooney, dude. I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm
Oh
sorry.
shit! I gotta
Like,
go through my roster and make sure no one used to be on David's team.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
my team is pretty much David's team.
yeah. I mean, I don't want. Yeah. I don't want anybody to get hurt on my part anymore. It's all fun and games till someone dies, man. But I wish my team would stop doing that.
Oh, James, what did you see people doing that you dislike and change?
I just can't. My team just can't put it all together. I can't get everyone to be on a boom week. I can't get everyone to be on, you know, on even a decent week. So far I've had this like mishmash of half the team doing well, the other half taking a big fat shit, and so it is what it is. Um, so yeah, that's what I don't like about my team. They just can't put it all together.
All right. At this point, you're looking at your standings, your roster, your power rankings. There's a lot of things going in there. What are your goals? Have you guys set any goals for the rest of your fantasy season? David, have you set any goals for the rest of your fantasy season?
When you're really at the bottom of the barrel right now, my goal is just to like remain focused because it's like pretty hard, even like being how unlucky that you seem like it is right now for me. It's I find it a little challenging, to do um like waivers every week or like keep up with the news or like the stats and stuff. So my goal is just to keep focused and just see the season through, see what happens.
James, what are your goals for the rest of this fantasy season?
Um, my goals for the rest of this fantasy season is to watch more football. I I think for the whole past 4 weeks I haven't been able to watch any football.
Mhm,
Um, so it I kind of miss it. I really do miss it actually, and it helps me get a better grasp of the game and kind of the whole fantasy atmosphere and where all the pieces stand. Because right now it's like looking at box scores, it feels pretty unenjoyable. It's pretty bland.
mhm.
So I think I would like to start watching more games again. And I think my schedule's starting to free up on Sundays, so that's looking like a bright prospect. And other than that, I think just remembering that this game is fun and this league is a lot more fun than all my other leagues. I'm doing a lot better in all my other leagues, um, but they're not as fun as this one. So I
Mhm.
just remembering that this is all fun and games still, and I'm in the right crowd to enjoy it. So
For sure. All right. So 6 losses. Where do you think it all went? Was there a point in the season where it all went wrong? I think I know David's answer.
Okay, I think I'll go. Mine's pretty easy. I think the
I
audience.
think I have the same answer
If
actually.
if you've been following this podcast for any amount of time, I think the listeners can guess where it all went wrong. I think there's a direct correlation between my win total and CMC playing in the game. There's like a direct correlation, so that's where it all went wrong for me.
James, where did it all go wrong?
So it all went wrong for me following David when Dalvin Cook decided to get injured as well. So he hasn't been as seriously injured as CMC,
CMC.
but it still hurts because it's still my first round pick putting up, I don't know, maybe 5 points here and there, being injured for a few games, just not performing at that second overall pick. Um, and so when you're at the beginning of the draft, like mine and David's first pick is absolutely integral to the success of our team. And so and we're banking on anywhere between 20 to 30 points from those two, and it's not out of the realm of possibility that those two put up 20 points a week, and that just hasn't been there. Um, so I think that's it for me. I can't blame myself for the trades that I didn't take, and because and vice versa, the trades that I did take have not really panned out as well as I'd hoped. In terms of the win-loss column, but it is what it is.
For me, I know it all gets lost in all the CMC news, but I think where it really all went wrong is Raheem Mostert getting injured. People
Dude,
forget.
Yeah.
People
that's true.
forget.
That's
Raheem
true.
Mostert gets injured in the first play of the game. When you go hero RB and your RB2 goes down and your RB1 goes down the next week,
Yeah.
what are you? You got no hero anymore. What do you have left? So I mean,
All I'm gonna say is there's a precedence. If you really want your guy, there's a precedent. You gotta spend 122 fab, dude.
yeah. So
You would have been chilling, dude.
where it went wrong was when I took out that sweet short rib out of the crock pot and put it on the plate. That's where it went wrong. I swear to God, that was. I took it
My
out
meat.
and put on the plate. That's it's wraps for me.
Oh shoot, my meat was too soft, dude.
Yeah. If only I lost to Royce, I'd be chilling.
Dude, you would have CMC right now.
He would have
You'd be,
CMC. He would probably have
I mean,
Mostert right now.
you'd have Derrick Henry.
I would have Derrick Henry. That'd be 8-0 or 8-0 when he went down with Henry. I think so.
Oh man. All right. The past is the past. A couple more questions for you guys. Our time's running out. Your insurance isn't covering this. Think of one thing you would do differently before things could go better in the future. Think of one thing you would be doing differently before things could go better. You guys got to make a run. Another loss puts you in a really bad position. Um, do you have any moves up your sleeves to turn the season around? Well, what is one thing you could be doing differently so that things could go better? David, go ahead.
I guess I have to be a little bit more precise with who I have to put a little bit more thought into who I need to play because right now I've been playing with like a bunch of wide receiver threes, and I mean any of them could have like a 15-point week, so I need to pick and choose my spots, which is pretty difficult, but it's like not impossible to pick and choose your spots with them because the waiver wire is pretty slim pickings right now, so you have to be on top of the waiver wire and kind of play my best lineup every week, I think, because it cost me a week last week, so I have
Yeah.
to be a little bit more precise.
James, one move you need to
Um,
do differently.
I think I just gotta have more faith in my guys. They can hear it from the commission. They can hear it from the GM's office that I'm a little low on faith right now. But I need to get my ass into the locker room. I need to gas them up.
Yeah.
They, what's it called? Words of encouragement.
The pep talk.
Um,
The rah
yeah,
rah.
yeah. So I just gotta remind them we gotta take it one week at a time. We gotta go handle our business, control what we control, let the rest of the game play out,
Let the rest
and
of the
just go
game
out there and be boys.
put together a good defensive scheme going on.
Um, and like I remember my first championship. I think I was in a very similar
Yep.
position too.
Yep.
I think
And
I
you
was like
just made a
2-6,
run.
2-7, and I just made a run. So I just know that it's possible. It's
I think you
doable.
beat
You
me
just
in
gotta have
that
the faith.
championship. I think.
I think so.
Ah,
See, the
that
thing is,
was that
last
was
year, if you got 7 losses, you wouldn't make it. Like now, I think you 7 losses, you might be okay.
really. I haven't done the math yet, and that's partly because I don't want to do the math. So So yeah,
All right.
I mean, time is running out. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
Yeah, it's definitely win now from here on out.
Okay.
Yeah, I just gotta remind my guys that it's a 1 game series from here on out.
All right. And last question before you guys got to get out of here. How much fun are you guys having on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, no arbitrary scale, but just 1 being zero fun, probably like shopping with your girlfriend kind of thing, or 10 being like with the boys. 1 to 10.
10
That
would
is an
be
easy
winning a
question.
championship. So I would say like fun. I'd say like a 7, just because
Okay.
it's gonna take a lot of work. It's more work than fun right now.
Still having a good time.
Yeah.
Work is fun. Hard work is fun. James, what are your thoughts? Where are you at? 1 to 10. How much fun are you having?
I'm actually at a 10. I know my record doesn't reflect that enthusiasm, but no, I think this year's been a lot of fun. The memes are danker. I think the trash talk has been a little more highbrow, especially with the team names and the pictures.
Mhm.
So
I
I think
don't know
this
how
year's a
to
lot.
change my team picture.
Uh, so I think this year's a lot more fun. If my team can turn it around, it'd be just the cherry on top. But this league is a lot more fun than the other leagues I'm in.
I agree with that.
the
I think
sweetest.
we, even if you're losing, we can take this and sometimes that James has put together a great league. All of us have contributed between the trash talk and participating. I think this league has been great. Like honestly, like James told me prior, like I would trade all my wins from every single money league and whatever league just to win the booty. And I couldn't agree more. Like I definitely booty over everything, right?
Yeah, booty over everything.
Just the amount of pride in this, in this title is like
Yeah.
is so much. But yeah, okay. Are we done here, Doctor?
We're good. You guys are good here. Let's jump
Oh,
into
I feel like a ton is off my shoulders.
Thank you for that.
go ahead and jump into our week recap power rankings discussion. Per usual, week 8, very close week, very exciting week. Uh, Chris versus Royce. I pulled the win off Chris. James versus Michael. Michael pulled the win off. Upset between all the guests chose James. Vin versus Marcus. Everyone chose Marcus. Vin pulled that one off. Nick versus Ty. That was chalk. Nick won. Yi versus David. Yi beat David, and David would have won if he played Boston Scott. We're gonna talk about that in the analysis in a
Who
second.
the hell would play Boston Scott? Like, you all can tell me to play Boston Scott,
Over
but
Brandon Bolden? Come
but
on now.
I
I don't know
would.
about this Brandon
Who?
Bolden
I
boy.
would have benched Bolden.
Really? Okay, I would have played Scott.
I've had Bolden all year. I know exactly what Bolden is
But
like.
Bolden will give you that. Okay. Go to Bolden's fucking match history or whatever, it's box
Yeah.
score. 4 of the last 5 games, he has like 4 or 5 receptions. The game he doesn't is the game I play him. Like, what do you want from me, man?
You have bad luck with these pass catching backs.
I'm
In
not.
our
I'm not drafting another pass catching running back in my life, dude.
in our game of the week, Jonathan takes a dub over Timmy. Timmy came short-handed with his team as well. So David, 2-6, myself 4-6, Royce 3-6. Our running total, David's at 0.583. I'm tied with him, and then the guest has a better running record than us at
Let's
0.59.
go.
So
That's
guest
because
has
y'all
been hitting.
missed a week.
These hosts don't know
That's
shit.
because y'all missed a week.
Don't know
Uh,
shit.
We'll even
all right,
out.
That sounds like a
thoughts.
It's
personal
because I have to
problem.
bet on myself every week.
Oh, boo fucking who. Get a better team.
Don't worry, I'll make it back betting against James this week. That's
James,
an easy.
what are your thoughts on this week? Your game, how are you feeling? Any words?
I didn't think my team would take a shit on me. So, but it is what it is. Yeah. I was at camp this week, or this past week, so I was pretty out of it. I just, it's just one of those things where I didn't expect to come back to this.
Yeah, that's always the worst. Camping while on Sunday.
Yeah.
I remember that during Boy Scouts.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks where it's like that, and it just makes me feel very disconnected from like the team. It makes me feel very disconnected from football in general.
Mm,
So that's why I mentioned like I wanted to watch more
Mm.
more games this
yeah,
week.
I was looking at your team and I was just like, damn, dude, you just did not hit. Like, I would not be mad with that lineup going. Just a rough week for James.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty good lineup, but
David, thoughts on your week or the week? Any other games?
I mean, Vin, like, I think it might be time we start putting some respect on his
Yes,
team,
sir.
right? But I
That's it.
mean, going up and down his team, right? It's like it's just AJ Brown and Kamara. It's the Kamara and AJ Brown
I mean,
show.
that's
So
what he drafted, right? That's why they're the first and second pick.
yeah, and I think he's got this week in the bag too. But Justin Herbert, I don't know what's going on. He's throwing less, or he's not getting downfield enough, or Austin Eckler's just too good. I don't know what's going on, but he hasn't been performing, and that's really hurting Vince's team.
Mhm.
Not so much these past few weeks, but I feel like as he makes a deeper run, that weakness might show itself.
Mhm.
But
Um,
besides that, yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm gonna say for off Vince's matchup, he pulls off that tight win, 2 points. Feel bad for Marcus because like, imagine getting 33 points from your kicker and your special teams. Like
I
like
can't.
losing
Well,
like losing
that's
to
all.
that like
Yeah,
that
I don't
I
know
that's
what
rough.
that's
can't.
like.
I can't imagine that.
That's nice for Vin, but that's so tough. Like, you got 15 points from your kicker, 18 points from your defense. Great job streaming this week. Um, yeah, if he got if they got like the average 10 points apiece, like he would have lost. He would have been down
Hmm.
11 points at like 101 ish. Ty had a rough week. He had uh 107. As well as Marcus 111. They would have beat anyone else. Like we had a couple of low scoring winners between myself, Michael, and me, all around the mid 90s, low 90s. So yeah, unlucky weeks for some people. And yeah, some of us got very lucky.
Yeah, it was a low scoring week that week. Pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Few upsets, but yeah.
Um, Power
James,
rankings. You guys also James already.
oh,
Anything
James
else you
already
need to say
went.
about the James? Yeah. Power rankings this week. Quick takes. Last week, number one PR has a score of was in the score of 1. This week's is 2.5. Uh, Last week, the numbers 10 through 12 had like a 1.5 points separating them. This week, it's 12.74. Nick rises up to number one with the most overall wins as well, and some of the best consistency for points per game. He has a consistency of 2 and a 122 point per game. Timmy slides down to 3, biggest slide by 2 drops, so too many slides or moves. Number 5 shares a spot between Chris and Marcus. The PR 8 and lower, James and down has the biggest gap between the rest of the pack. Like it goes from like 1 to 6, and it's just 2 point difference right there, 6 to 8, and then 8 to 12 down there. Um, David and Vince took slide down. A little odd. David made that comment that Vince took slid because he won, and he's at 4-4, but he's slid down to 11.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And unfortunately for James, he has the number 2 rest of season roster, and like we just talked about, I would not be mad at all his roster going into the week, but he is down at the power ranking score of 8 and a standings of 2 and 6. So, any thoughts on your power ranking? The power rankings last week?
Oh, you said me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised Marcus is up there. Tied for 6. I think that's more so that he has a lot of other factors than his team's actual record going into the equation. Um, so I'm kind of surprised that he's up there at 6. I think Vintuk should have been a little bit higher, especially given his recent team's performance. So I think him going on a two, I think him going on a two win 2 week win streak. I thought he would get a little more love than that.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, and I pretty much see this power ranking, unless some big things shake out. The only things I can see moving around are maybe the 4 through 7 spot, maybe 8. moving up and down, but the top and the bottom are pretty much set. Um, did, did you say anything yet, Chris?
I just had the breakdown. I would
Because I
say the
have a
teams. Yeah, just really quick before your question. I think things are starting to settle in because there's not too much movement in the PR. Top 6, 7 teams are consistently up there, and the bottom half has, been there as well. Uh, you know, the standings are also very interesting. I know power rankings don't display that, but the top 6 teams have 5 wins or more, and the bottom 4 teams have 2 wins.
yeah.
So it's a tight race, like all around. And
Yeah,
your question?
so that kind of leads into my question. Do you think someone that is currently 2-6 is gonna, besides yourself, is going to break into the playoffs? And who do you think falls out in their place?
Oof.
We'll start off with James, and then we have a more objective.
Oh, besides
Yeah,
myself?
besides yourself.
No, because I'm the only one making it out.
But who falls down then?
Um, before the trade, I would have said Chris.
Oh, me too, dude. No cap.
But getting CMC back
That's so you'd
right when it's
presume.
presumably he's getting CMC back at the most pivotal point of the playoff race. Um, whether it be this week or 2 weeks from now. So if Chris can weather the storm before CMC can get back, I think he'll be just fine. I think it might be I don't know, maybe Michael, but yeah, if I had to pick one, it'd be probably Michael.
Okay.
Cause it just it starts with one bad trade, right? And then the train just goes off the rails for him. So we'll see.
David or
Oh,
me?
me? Yeah. I see myself going in, but if let's say if it was an 11-man league, right? And
11.
I wasn't in the league, I was out of the league, who would I see moving up? I would say it would have been Royce if Derrick Henry didn't get injured, but since he did, I think I go with James has a good chance, and I think Marcus also has a pretty good chance with Mixon and Chubb coming back from injury. So James or Marcus, I think. And who falls out? I mean, Michael's the low hanging fruit here, just because he's at 6. But I can imagine a world where Chris falls out
Mhm,
because timing is wrong or something with Kittle and McCaffrey.
mhm.
So I can see that happening. Go ahead, Chris.
Um, I think James or Royce, like Royce, breaking news, Royce is doing very well right now. If he back in well, his running backs are going to be okay. Um, so I like Royce's team. I like James's team. In the 2 winners, Ty's team's not bad either. He just hasn't been hitting. Um, they all have the potential to, but choosing one, I would say James's as well. The person that would fall out, yeah, like same Michael Marcus. I think Timmy, Jonathan, and Nick have very strong teams, and barring injury, they should be making the playoffs. And Yi should be in the conversation too. His team's very, very strong. Um, so I feel like 4 spots are taken up, and we're kind of fighting for 6 at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
How it is
Moving.
every year.
Yeah.
Last year was spicy. Last year was like only Jonathan took the first spot, and everyone's fighting for 2 through
We
6.
had to like do so much math,
Yeah,
right?
Mhm.
And it came
yeah.
down to like some tiebreakers.
But our league consistently,
Oh yeah, yeah.
our
Go,
league
go.
consistently is always playing for that last playoff spot.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always like anywhere between 3 to 4 guys with sitting at 500, with split matchup records against everybody. So, I I think that I think we go pretty close to that same competitive race in a few weeks. So,
Okay, let's move
because
into.
eventually the 2 and 16s got to play each other.
True.
True, and I'm
True.
waiting for that.
Yeah,
Unless
that's
it
the main
already
thing. Like,
happened.
that's the main thing. Looking at scheduling, like I haven't looked at schedule enough to see who has the easiest strength of schedule the rest of the way. But other than that, I think it'll be fine. All right, let's jump into our week 9 matchups. Our first matchup this week is Ty versus Timmy. I'll jump off here. I think the quarterback, you know, the quarterback winner here is Timmy with Joe Burrow. Running backs is Timmy with Daryl Henderson with Josh Jacobs. However, hindsight, Austin Eckler was the man. I just wasn't sure about this Naeem Hines start. And Naeem Hines having 18 points looks very well. So you
Looks
can say
very good.
so. I would say it's a push. It's a push at this point, but I did have Timmy with running backs coming in. Um, wide receivers coming in. I put Ty and have no clue why when Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill
Yeah,
came
I
back.
don't know why you
I don't
put
know why
that.
I don't know why I did that when
Maybe Devonte Adams has
yeah, wasn't
no
maybe he wasn't
Aaron
in the
Rodgers.
maybe he wasn't in the slot yet and he had Brian Edwards in.
Ah,
So that's why I had him.
what are you
Uh
smoking, dude?
yeah, dude, I'm what the hell. But the thing is Ty's receivers aren't bad either. Like that's the thing. He has very good receivers out there. Tight end I would say is push between Conklin and Gasicki. And then I have the flex being a push as well between Marquise Brown and Melvin. David, any differences in your opinions on that on the position groups there?
I actually have I have RBs going to ties, but this is after the fact, right? Naeem Hines going for 18. I mean, it was bound to
Sheesh.
happen, right? It just
Uh,
so happened that Ty put him in. That's crazy. Ty would put him
yeah.
in. But I actually have Timmy winning the tight end race. I mean, Gasicki's been on fire lately. I wouldn't say on fire actually. Yeah, two of the last 3 games he's been doing pretty well. So I would give that advantage there. And yeah, that's about it. But I agree with everything you say.
Um, James, any differences on the skill position or anything like
No, I think Ty. Um, 19 points aside, Naeem Hines was the better play, and I would have played Naeem Hines because you need ceiling against Timmy's team. And today Naeem Hines hit it out of the park. So
that? Mhm,
excellent play by Ty. I think the process was right. But I still have Timmy winning this one. I think it's a lot closer now,
mhm.
but I still think Timmy's team is much stronger than Ty's team, and I have a lot more confidence in his pieces.
True. James, would you are there any changes you would make to
Nah,
downs
man, let it
position?
ride.
Okay, you're good. Uh, David, any changes, anything like that?
I have Timmy winning this one, but both teams, I think the only thing would be Naeem Hines going in, but he already put him in, so I think both teams are pretty good.
Okay. Ty was gonna be my upset for this week. I think Ty's gonna win. Um, yeah, my notes had Brian Edwards in, so and I would have played Devontae, actually, but yeah, other than that, I think we're good. This matchup should go down to the flex. I would say is Melvin Gordon going to get the session this week, or is it going to be a Javonsa week? And then how well is Marquise going to do with all the receiving positions back? So jump into the
Who
next one.
did
We
you
have
pick?
Chris. What's up?
Who did you pick?
I picked Ty. I
Oh,
have Ty
okay,
winning.
Ty.
Yeah. Let's jump into myself and Vintook. David, you want to break down the
Yeah,
position
I'll
groups
go
here?
first here. Quarterbacks, I have it actually pushing. Running backs, it goes to Vin, assuming McCaffrey doesn't play. If McCaffrey plays, I'd say it's pretty even. Wide receivers, I will give it to Chris, even though I see AJ Brown and Diggs as kind of like both have that high ceiling.
Mhm.
Devontae Parker versus Houston and Diggs versus Jacksonville, the matchups are it's just a cakewalk, and it's a clear path to getting that higher ceiling than over on Vin's side. Tight end, I actually have going towards Ertz just because the Arizona receiving core is pretty depleted
Yeah.
over Kittle. And flex, I give to Vin also Javante over Marvin Jones, just because Marvin Jones, Trevor Lawrence isn't like throwing that well this year. So
Mhm.
yeah.
James, any thoughts on the
James.
position
Yeah.
groups or matchups?
So I see that you have decided not to play the bane of my existence with James Conner,
Yeah, I'm not playing you, so I don't have to worry about it.
but you have plenty of time to make that swap. I think this game is a pretty close game. But I have Chris winning this one. I think I have a little more confidence with Chris's side and Chris's pieces. I am a little worried about CMC playing. I wouldn't be too confident with that happening, but what I'm the what I'm the least confident about is Marvin Jones. I don't like that play, especially against the Bills. I understand that Jacksonville's going to need to throw more, but that just seems like they're throwing to Buffalo DBs than Jacksonville
Yeah.
receivers.
Yeah. With that being said, I really wanted Van Jefferson for like Van Jefferson over Marvin Jones, or even Brian Edwards over Marvin Jones. I'm not a big fan of him either. I'm trying to make a trade right now to see if I can get a playable piece. Um, and yeah,
You wouldn't
just
play Dearness or James Conner over him?
I'm thinking about Dearness actually. I am humoring just in one of those positions as well.
Okay.
Um, but I do assume CMC inside in those positions. Um, what is this going to come down to? Any changes you, David?
Yeah, the change I would make for your team would be to put it might be a James Conner game, and it also might be a Dearness game. You know, it's a depleted Arizona
Yeah,
wide receiving core, so they gotta
give him
run and they gotta throw.
the no Devontae Adams treatment where AJ Dillon and
I think,
Aaron Jones combined for like 30
yeah,
some
yeah,
points.
yeah, exactly. So, but for Vin's side, I don't like the Javante Williams play this week. I might actually go Hunter Renfro. Just because the increased workload is there. I don't know if those will all go to him. I think Brian Edwards is the beneficiary there, or Darren Waller, but I mean, was that like 5 targets a game? It's gotta go somewhere.
Hmm.
He's not that bad.
James,
But James
any
is the
changes?
Raiders
Uh,
Homer,
expert
yeah.
here.
Inside info, I would try to get Hunter Renfro in the lineup. I think it's
Mm,
very hard to do that, because it's gonna be between Javonte Williams, Miles Gaskin, and Jerry Judy. Um, I wouldn't blame Vintuk for not playing Hunter over those guys, but what Henry Ruggs did for this offense didn't show up on the stat sheet. He was opening up a lot of the intermediate and short routes for this offense. But now that we don't have that burner anymore, I think everything comes back underneath and everything is back to pretty quick and short um, throwing plays and a lot more running, I think. But that's on Vince's side, and I think for Chris's side, I would play James Conner. Fuck that guy.
I know James hates James Conner. Yeah, those are my two thoughts for myself. I might play Bateman or Renfro over Javante. And that's just my thoughts. But I have myself winning this. James has me, and
Yeah.
David has Vin.
I have Vinya.
Okay, let's jump into the Royce and Marcus matchup. James, you want to break this down into positions here?
Yeah, so Royce with the two big balls playing Ty
Holy,
Johnson his left nut and Elijah Moore his right nut. So
holy.
props to Royce. Good pick. I I'm a big personal fan of Elijah Moore, and and I think out of necessity, I think this is the best play that Royce could have put up. Because that you're talking about Ty Johnson versus I don't know who's he got Carlos Hyde versus the Bills. I wouldn't be playing that.
Yeah,
Um, and that's really his only other running back. So between Ty Johnson and Carlos Hyde, I probably would have played Ty Johnson. So um, but I think overall, I have Marcus winning this one. Oh, spoiler alert! Us 2 and 6 guys are sticking together, so I am picking everyone against the 2 and 6 guys.
True.
So I got Marcus winning this one. I do like his pieces a little bit more. I think it's unfair that he gets to play Cordell in the wide receiver spot. So in
That's
essence, he's playing
busted.
4 running backs. Um, and so I had to give the nod to Marcus. Especially I really like this Dallas Goddard play. He is blossoming now that Zach Ertz is out of the way, and so I think they try to get the ball to him more. So I'm gonna go with Marcus.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, I'll also go with. Wait, who am I going for? Shoot, I think I'm going. Yeah, I'm going with Marcus. I'm going with Marcus. Sorry, I brain farted because I didn't write it down. But yeah, I'm going with Marcus. Is there? I mean, Royce's team does look pretty good right now with that Ty Johnson and
Yeah, with
Elijah
those
Moore
plays,
play.
yeah.
Would I have played Elijah Moore where he's got nobody else?
He
Yeah,
literally has
he's really
nobody
got no
else.
one
So
else.
I might have. Okay, so that's a good play by Royce. So I wouldn't make any changes to either team. Both team look pretty good right now, but I still give the edge to Marcus just because of Matt Stafford, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Cordero. Like that core is like so solid. And James Robinson has like a hurt foot or something. He might not even play.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play Carlos
Yeah.
sides. Yeah, I tried to make a trade with him this week because I was like, yeah, you have no running backs. Like, do you want another running back to win this week or whatever? But he played Ty Johnson and it paid off. Um, Same. I had Marcus winning. The only matchup I had Royce winning was quarterback, and had it slightly leaning tight end. But honestly, kind of more of a push. Otherwise, I like Marcus's pieces all around way more. Not sure about Julio Jones and his hamstring. We'll have to monitor that. But yeah, I just think
Yeah.
Marcus's team looks good because otherwise I'm just gonna hindsight everything because a lot of my talk was about Ty Johnson. I got Marcus winning. Let's jump into that's a wash from Marcus. In a must-win game for Royce too. Hopefully he can pull this off, but doesn't look like it. James versus Neat. David, go. I went first, so I can. No, David, break down this one. I'll break down the next.
Yeah, I'll break down this one first. Quarterbacks, I got it pretty even. Running backs, I have going towards I have going towards me. Just I mean that 32 bomb from your running back, like you love to see it. Wide receivers, surprisingly, I have it even right here. I kind of view Jamar Chase and Robert Woods as like the same type of production as of late. And I feel like we kind of remember Mike Williams for what he did in the past more than what he's been doing recently. So I think he's kind of been coming down to more of like a boom or bust type of receiver more than like the 3 straight 20-point games he had at the beginning. So I see Claypool and Mike Williams as kind of the same production this week. So I have that even. Tight ends, I also have even. Flex, I have going towards me because CD Lamb's just in a better situation than Jarvis. Is there any position this is gonna come down to? I'd say God's intervention, just because of Jonathan Taylor. I mean, one guy can just flip your entire week upside down, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah. And so all in all, I have me winning this one. What about you, Chris?
Um, I wouldn't make any changes. I agree with you. Um, James is gonna need the Chase Claypool and James need to show up. Chase Claypool needs some better targets. Jarvis needs to. Hopefully, he does better without OBJ. And Derek Carr to show up. But I do have Derek Carr being the better quarterback than Ryan Tannehill this week. He just kind of needs to meet expectations, and he already exceeded it with Jonathan Taylor. We'll have to see how Tannehill does without Henry, and if Mike Williams can bounce back, because I agree with your analysis there. So I want to make changes to either team, and I have me winning this, even though James needs to win this week.
I would actually, for James, put Sutton over Jarvis just for that
I'll
upside
put a
play.
shot bet on that.
Oh,
Oof.
shot bet Sutton.
Over
Sutton
Jarvis?
versus Jarvin.
All right, shot bet that right now. Shotgun bet that.
Oh,
Shotgun
I'll
bet.
take a shotgun bet.
So just
Uh,
points, right?
Yeah, just points
yeah,
straight
Okay.
up.
points for Jarvis versus Sun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spice it up.
All right,
Damn,
James, your own thoughts on your game?
James had that that shot bet quick. It was loaded already. Like he
He's
knew.
thought about
I was,
he's
I was
thought about his
begging
lineup.
you to make that pull.
Mm, when I skipped it in the
Um,
dock, he was like, "What?"
so this is the classic David versus Goliath. Um, uh, yeah, I tell myself, Jonathan Taylor against the Jets. This is a pretty shit matchup for me. But as long as Jonathan Taylor doesn't go for 40, I'll be okay. And last time I checked, he didn't hit 40, so we are good to go. Upset is still in the
Mm.
mix.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah, definitely, I need to hit all my ceilings, and he just needs to hit all his floors. And this game would look a lot more competitive.
as as yes, I bank on that every week too.
Oh man.
All right,
So I have myself winning by a point. It's gonna be close. It's gonna
it's
be
gonna be
competitive.
dirty.
Yeah, my boys
he's
gonna
gonna
come out with a chip on their shoulder. They came ready to work.
he's gonna
Okay.
end the week with 40 points.
All right, David versus Michael. I can go here. I have the quarterback going to David. I think Michael needs to find one still.
He
I don't
has
know.
one. Dude, let him play
Uh,
it.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. He might need. The running back's gonna go to Michael. I think Aaron Jones is gonna have a big week. Rogers, wide receiver goes to Michael. Um, with Higgins, Sanders should bounce back. And Hopkins if he's healthy, but I think at this point in time he's decided to sit Hopkins. Um, Titans gonna go David, but of course
Mm, so we think.
of course the 1 week he needs a win and has that positional difference maker. He plays against Mark Andrews, which is gonna keep it close.
I think Mark Andrews
Um,
#1 right now.
and then
Over
the flex
Kelsey.
is gonna go to Michael. Um, Michael needs QB play. Sanders to produce, like he was prior, probably like a touchdown, 12 to 16 points. And then Tony, if they redo that game plan where Tony's supposed to be an integral part of the game plan. David needs Eagles points. Big time Eagles fan this week for David between Boston Scott, Devontae Smith, very much so hates the Chargers. And then he needs Casey to bounce back so that Kelsey can do better. And I would say a flex to play, and he did pick up Darnell Mooney for that upside.
Do you like that pickup though?
Um,
Out of the garbage that's on the
I
wire.
don't hate it. I don't hate it. That's for sure. Like I think that's a high upside play.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, it's a
I,
placeholder.
yeah. Uh, maybe there's one. Oh, there's one other person on my looking really quickly. Maybe two people I like out there more, but close. James, thoughts?
Uh, um, let's just say this one's a close one. Um, and Michael has helped make this a closer one with the Jordan Love pick. I personally don't like it. There is one other quarterback that I would be more confident
I
in.
think I'm gonna pick him up on Sunday. So
Uh, you might as well pick him up right now.
Yeah.
But there is one other quarterback that I would have more confidence in out there. But um, I think David's team was a little more scarier, especially when you're looking at like Josh Allen with the Jacksonville matchup, and you're looking at like I don't know, Brandon Cooks against Miami. That's a good matchup too. But I feel like Michael's team has had a lot of opportunities that they've fallen flat on in the past, such as Zach Moss, T. Higgins, Emmanuel Sanders, especially. I don't think they repeat have repeat poor performances again. I think they actually have bounce back performance.
Mm.
Um, and it's not to say that T. Higgins has been having bad games either. I think he's been doing pretty well. With like I think a 10-point floor, or averaging around 10 points, which is always good. But I think he finds the end zone this game. So I think Michael hits the ceiling, or has a better chance of hitting the ceiling. And squeaking out a win, assuming he picks up this one quarterback that I'm, radiating to him right now,
He's not
putting it
gonna
out
pick
there,
it up, man. I'll pick it up right now just to
putting him
show
out
you.
there.
Right here.
Do it.
Easy. No.
Interesting.
You
Interesting.
don't like that
Interesting.
rushing baseline.
I'll just
You
leave
don't
it at
like that.
interesting.
Alright,
I'll
I
just leave it
think the
interesting. I think
17
you're
point baseline.
underestimating the Raiders defense.
I plead the fifth.
I'm gonna go down the list on Sunday morning, just pick drop. No,
All right.
but he might be running. He might run out Jordan Love. I think he might. He's crazy
Alright.
like that.
What are your thoughts? He is. You know what? He is crazy like that.
He's
Johnson.
crazy.
There's that.
He's
That's true,
fucking
but
crazy.
that is to his demise.
Yeah.
As soon as the words "fuck it" leaves Michael's mouth, this shit always goes off the rails.
All right.
What are your
My
thoughts?
turn. I think I win if I can be so bold. Every position this week. Quarterback, me.
Mm,
Running back, me.
Wow.
Wide receivers, me. Tight end,
Hesitation or
me. I had to think about it real quick. Me. So I think that's enough to carry me through the week. What do I need? What is this matchup gonna come down to? No goose eggs. And if there was a change, I don't think I would change my team. I think I have the best lineup in right now, and I think you guys would agree too. Just because of the trash on my bench.
I can't.
at this point, it's all the same.
I can't wait to turn David's thing right now into a sound clip. Quarterback, me.
Quarterback. I'm gonna end the week with like 50 points.
All right, game of the week. We got Nick versus Jonathan. James, go ahead and run us through the matchups for Nick versus Jonathan. I think this is 1 and 2 power ranking. Both of their points scored. Gonna be a heavy hitting shootout for the week.
So I think this game will be a lot more exciting than I think it was a couple weeks ago when we had Jonathan versus Timmy. Because Nick's team I think Nick's team is leading the league in points. Or at least on the average, I believe. But Jonathan's still up there. 7-1 it's pretty up there. I wish I was 7-1. So, but with that said, I like Tua over Mahomes.
Wow, that's
spicy.
a hot take.
Spicy,
I
spicy.
think Tua at home does better than Mahomes at home. I think this Green Bay defense is being slept on.
I think we are being slept on.
Someone
but
put
I'll
a shot
put
on
a,
this.
I'll put a shot bet on that.
You put a shot on it? I'll
put a
take
shot
it.
on Tua versus Mahomes.
Yeah, I think Tua has a good game.
This is Vegas
I
is
think it's a
banging the
great game,
under
but
on
damn,
that
dude.
one. All right, that's a hot take.
Dude, we've watched the past 2 weeks with Mahomes. It does not look good. You're just banking on his past performances, and I think I don't have confidence in it this week. I think the matchup against Houston is a lot easier than the matchup against Green Bay. So, I'll take Tua over Mahomes. I'm bold in that.
Okay.
The running backs I have a little more confidence in. Jonathan's side. I think at this point Najee is a top 5 running back. And I think if he isn't a top 5 running back, then I have top 5 confidence in him to be a top 5 running back. So I think him and Michael Carter are a lot better looks than Gerald Williams and Devontae Booker. On the receiver side, I'm going with Nick. I don't think you can count out Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is basically starting 3 wide receivers on one team at this point.
Yeah.
So I'll give the nod to Nick.
Oh my god, I'm looking at his lot. He's only had one game with less than 10 targets.
Yeah, it's kind of insane.
So nasty.
On the tight end side, I think it's if Waller isn't healthier, then it's kind of a wash. But I think now that Ruggs is out of the picture, I think he's gonna need to be more involved. He is the best pass catching option in this offense, so I don't see why he can't be involved. Um, and then with the flex, I know Debo's hurt. I don't know if he'll play, but if he plays, I'll give the nod to Jonathan on that one. So all in all, my pick is Nick.
Okay. Kind of. Oh, your pick is Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kind
Oh
of the
shit.
opposite of you. I actually have Pat Mahomes. By no means do I think Pat Mahomes is gonna have a great game. I mean, Tua against Houston is a pretty juicy matchup, but does Tua have that consistency? I'm not too sure. I just got to go with the known commodity there. Um, but you're more bold than I am. Running backs, I
And
give
look
the
where we
nod.
are, 2-6.
Why? Why? I mean, I traded Pat Mahomes away for a reason. Just at the right time. That's my best trade ever. But running backs, I give the nod to Jonathan. Wide receivers, I do have pushing just because I think I did Debo versus Cup instead of like what he has in his lineup right now. Tight ends goes to Nick, obviously, and for flex I have push. I just think the difference here is that running back core, but I guess we do have hindsight where I think Michael Carter would have gone 15 points prior to the game, but he got 10, so I might not be as confident there.
I mean, he was a
But
touchdown away, pretty much. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I give but I still give the nod to Jonathan.
okay.
Chris?
I agree more with James's statements. I think the quarterback play is close, but I am taking that shot from Mahomes. Um, and yeah, you know what? I agree with everything else. I had the flex matchup between Waddle and McNichols, and I thought that was tight, but I'm gonna lean Nick, and I think that kind of pushes it for me. Um, any changes I would make? No, I don't think I thought about putting game managing kind of game again, like with the Devontae, and then Jonathan already made my suggested changes, so no moves there.
All
And
right.
I got Nick, yeah.
So you two have Nick, I have Jonathan.
Yep.
Um, I think that's all we have for today. Do you guys have anything else you want to say to everybody?
No, I hope you guys had a weight lifted off your shoulders. Um, you guys feel
Thank
better,
you. I
more
needed
confident
that,
going into this week.
doctor.
Yeah. Thank you. I
Uh,
didn't know I needed that.
good luck this week, James and Chris, as always. All right,
Yep.
peace out,
All right,
everybody.
good luck,
Later, guys.
boys. Good luck,
Goodbye.
everyone
Bye.
else.